Chicken consumers have continued to suffer effects of microbial resistance, according to a leading researcher at World Animal Protection, Dr. Victor Yamo. Now, there's a lot of infringement on the birds' rights. According to the Pecking Order survey, each chicken is subjected to unnecessary suffering at the hands of fast food companies. Please take a look at this story.
These inquisitive and social animals often live their lives in chronic pain, suffering from lameness, skin lesions and even heart failure caused by selective breeding, which leads to an unnaturally fast growth rate. Crammed on factory farm floors with little or no environmental enrichment, they are also prevented from exhibiting their natural behaviors such as foraging, dust bathing and perching.
And if the animal is growing, in the current situation, the chicken is growing so fast that its internal organs are slower than the muscle or the animal itself. And what tends to happen is the animal then has damming or blood remaining in the internal organs. The heart can't beat as fast as it's supposed to do because it's growing slower physiologically, and that then leaves a lot of fluid in the liver. And what simply happens is you end up with a lot of fluid in the animal, what we call water belly. But the animal, because of the fast growth, especially the bigger ones, what tends to then happen is they have a classical heart attack. What you see as a farmer is that the animal flips back onto its back, kicks in the air and dies.
Every year since the publication of the Pecking Order 2019, fast food restaurants have been ranked high on their chicken welfare policies, taking into account their commitments to make improvements.
In our Pecking Order research for last year, what came out is that there are international organizations that have branches in places like Uganda. A good example is KFC. And we found that there is a discrepancy between the policies that they are using in their supply chain in Uganda and the policies that they are using globally.
Companies' inaction is not only an animal welfare issue, but human health is also being jeopardized due to antibiotic overuse in farming, fueling a deadly superbug crisis. Raising welfare standards will reduce the need for routine antibiotics used to prevent disease amongst animals kept in appalling conditions, thereby helping to lower the risk of antibiotic resistance in animals.
What it simply means is that the consumer is running a risk of getting a product that is not food safe. And I want to be very clear around this. Because of poor welfare in the production system, what most likely happens, and it's something that I've had in Uganda, the producer then, or the farmers then tend to use antibiotics, which is not necessary, to mask the poor welfare. So what essentially then you're saying, you are ending up with antibiotic residues, and you're also ending up with antibiotic resistant genes in the product. And a good example is when we did a survey back in Nairobi last year, we found that there was some level of antibiotic residues, or what we are calling superbugs, in the food.
The Pecking Order assesses iconic food fast brands and food service companies on the approach of dealing with the welfare of chicken in their supply chains. TPO began in 2019 as an assessment of how global fast food brands were dealing with chicken welfare throughout their global supply chains. Mary Namkose, Douglas Setumba, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Mary Namukasa. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with business news.